Dads with guns.
Wow.
Okay, cops and robbers.
Yeah.
Did you ever want to be like some kind of cop?
Yeah, I always played cops and robbers as a kid.
Okay, and you know what? Growing up, I remember watching cop shows all the time.
Yeah. My favorite was Miami Vice.
Oh, of course
man,
it was.
the guys looked so hot with their hot cars
Yes,
and the
they
big
did.
boats splashing all over.
And the music was always cool.
Oh, it was loud and great, and save the poor people and get the bad guy. I liked being the hero. Yeah.
Well, of course you did. And you know what? I think I could have been a cop if they dressed totally different, because I think the uniforms and the shoes have just absolutely got
it's
to
not
go.
about what you wear.
No, but I would have been Charlie's Angels, okay?
my.
Because my
Oh,
hair
my.
would have always looked awesome, and I would have always gotten the cute guys, and I would have always had great outfits and cute shoes, yet I still would have been able to carry a gun.
Well, that's really special.
It is.
Charlie's Angels, here we go. But you know, it's interesting, all those shows that we watched as a kid growing up, those cop shows, did you ever remember any that showed the cop at home?
No, it was always out what they were doing, the case they were working on.
So it's interesting, whether it's a cop, a paramedic, a fireman, they didn't talk about the struggles that they face at home.
And isn't it? Well, of course, because that's real life. And how do you intersect this whole cop world with the real life of home?
You know what? Too often we saw the cops as we're running into trouble when everybody else is running out of trouble.
Yeah.
But they run into more trouble at home. In real life, it's difficult. And we're here to help you.
Because we care.
Exactly. And we want to help you as a first responder make it in your marriage when so many are struggling. I mean, so many are facing difficult times, and there is help available. This whole show is about help for first responders so you can have a strong marriage, one that is not going to be thrown in jail. You stay with us.
The job, the whole job, and nothing but the job. Okay, it's far too easy for the job to become the central defining aspect of an officer's entire life. That's why we've got to get insight into this so that marriages don't have to be strained and kids don't have to be alienated.
So whether you're a cop, you're a paramedic, whether you're a firefighter, whatever, there's lots of pressures we're going to talk about in this show. Now, here's the deal. We got some help. We got a real live FBI agent, former guy.
You are so excited about that.
Excited. I never met one before. Okay, that's the truth. So, but it's really cool. I mean, and he's impersonated hitmen. He's impersonated international gun runners. I mean, he's impersonated pedophiles. He's impersonated wild, wicked gamblers. I mean, he's done it all, and he's all in the name of serving and protect. That's really cool. He's got this great new book coming out, The Last Undercover. It is so cool. He's been married 34 years, so we kept that part together too. We need to hear from Mr. Bob Hamer. Whew.
Good to have you.
Yes,
Good to have you.
definitely.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Now listen, Bob, I want to know about the book. The book. Give us a snapshot. What's the book about?
I spent 26 years in the FBI, many of those years undercover in a variety of roles. As Dave said, I've been a contract killer, a residential burglar, a fence, a pedophile.
So you've lied forever.
Oh, I have the gift of deceit. God gave me a lying tongue, and I've used it
For good.
for good, not for evil.
Wow, that's great.
So the book is about my infiltration of NAMBLA, the North American Man-Boy Love Association, and I've thrown in about a dozen other undercover stories that sort of gave me the experience and the confidence to pull off what I call my most difficult role, as a pedophile.
Yeah, now listen, he put away pedophiles. A bunch of them are in jail. I mean, this guy has done it all, so that's great.
Definitely. Now, what would you say is the most dangerous position you were ever placed in?
There were two incidents where I almost got caught. One, I was actually sitting in the lobby of the hotel of the Airport Hilton in Los Angeles, right outside of LAX.
Right.
I had $500,000 in my briefcase. The bad
Like real
guy-
money?
Real money, yeah. Real money.
Okay, I'm with you.
The bad guy had just
This
said
isn't
that if
TV.
anything goes wrong, that his partner has a gun and I'm going to be the first one to get killed. And two people that I knew from Cincinnati, Ohio, walked into the lobby at that very moment.
Who knew you as Bob Hamer?
As Bob Hamer. And I saw them, and I kind of leaned back, and Daryl, the drug dealer, had an ego that was bigger than mine, which may be hard to believe.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I can't believe
And
it.
I just saw Pat, and I kind of shook my head, and Daryl was pontificating about drug dealing and everything, and the heroin that was about to arrive. And Pat saw me, and she ushered her husband away. So I mean, I came within that close
goodness.
of them coming up. And
But they knew what you did.
Absolutely.
So they kindly pulled away because
Okay,
they knew you were on
are
work.
you like breaking out in a cold sweat?
You know, it's funny. I actually was wearing the recording device was strapped to my chest, and when I played it back to listen to it, you could hear my heart start to thump a little.
Oh my goodness.
Every guy watching has to ask this, right? So, were you shot at? Did you shoot at people? I mean, did you pull out the gun?
Yeah, I pulled out the gun a couple times, and I was involved in one shooting with. I was undercover, and it was a drug deal that went bad, and the two guys that I was dealing with, they were trying to rip me off. They thought I had $400,000 in a briefcase for another drug deal. This is separate from the one we just talked about.
From their drug, okay.
Yeah, well, I was purchasing their drugs, and I
Okay.
had $400,000, and they were really just trying to rip me off of the $400,000, and so that was a shooting that I got involved in.
Wow.
And how did that affect Debbie and the kids?
That was one, I think up until that time, my son was 8 years old, I think when that occurred, no, 10 years old, I'm sorry. Yeah. He was 10. And I think up until that time, I would share a lot about what I did. I mean, he'd love my stories. I would share with my wife and with my daughter. But I think it was always kind of, oh, you know, Dad's got a cool job, but it's not really dangerous, and, you know, he comes home every night.
Right.
There's always this happy ending.
And there was this incident where I was involved in the shooting. It was on the news. It made the newspapers. It was kind of a big issue that this had happened. And so my son, I think, particularly my son, realized, oh my gosh, you know, this is for real. Dad does have a dangerous job. And we always joke that there were no more children because for almost a year, my son slept in our bedroom every night. I mean, we would put him in his bed, and at some time during the night, he would sneak back into our bedroom.
He was protecting Daddy.
No, quickly,
think so.
Give me a snapshot of Debbie, your wife, 34 years. What would she say it's like to be married to a cop?
My wife is, I've been married 34 years to the same sweet, wonderful girl I met in college. And she's so fortunate because she's been married to me, who has gone through about 6 personality changes. I've been a variety of characters. So for her, it's like multiple marriages.
It hasn't been boring, I tell ya.
It's multiple
Not
marriages.
a boring Bob,
No.
eh? Oh,
Yeah, now Bob, how do you not get like addicted to the adrenaline?
Oh, I'm definitely addicted to the adrenaline. I think that was, I don't ride a motorcycle, I don't jump out of airplanes, but I was addicted to the adrenaline rush of the undercover.
You're conning these people all the time, and your life's dependent on how well you do.
Oh, there was no comparable thrill to being able to pose as a bad guy, convince them that you are one of them or one of their equals, and for them to engage you in criminal conduct, and then at the end, you slap on the silver bracelets and take them away to court.
Okay, whether you're a cop, a paramedic, fireman, I mean, here's the deal. You're watching, and you know somebody who is. Here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Call the cops. Call somebody you know right now who needs to be watching this, because we got more help for you, and I'm going to share with you what some of the wives I talked to are saying about living with one of these guys. Stay with us.